And we are live again.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Who's that? Who's that guy? Who's that guy in the middle, Nick?
Who's that guy? That guy in the middle who is in a building, not in the middle of a fucking field.
Part-timer.
A part-timer. Yeah, I've missed a couple of these. And my reason for last week was obviously terrible connection issues in the middle of the field, which, in hindsight, is kind of obvious. But I was taking a gamble and it didn't work, and it's my fault. So I'm sorry.
I was literally like, it would have been because when for the people who are watching who maybe didn't see last week, we were trying to set the show up before, and Josh was in this amazing background, like it was so nice, and like it was. The connection was perfect for like a second. We were like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and then it went, and then it was. So mate, the fact that you went for it, you take a risk on these things, and you win or you die, like the Game of Thrones, And unfortunately, you died.
I died. Yeah. So
he who dares Rodders.
You what?
He who dares Rodders. He who dares.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I've realised actually, we don't really say who we are, like our names, do we?
Yeah, who the fuck are you?
Like, no, exactly. Who the fuck am I? People are like arrogantly assume that everyone knows who I am.
When everybody knows your name.
My name's Andy.
Bing.
My name is Josh Astrop, and I'm going to start.
So, Andy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Andy Convey, or the Andrew Convey, on Instagram. Say one. There isn't. There's a couple, but there's only me. So yeah, I'm 33 years old, single, ready to mingle. I like holding hands, long walks on the beaches. Just the usual kind of things. Sunday roast, followed by a chill and a film. Like my Hinge profile says. So yeah. That's me. That's me in a nutshell. I'm nothing major. It's not like I'm a enigma wrapped in a mystery. Pretty open. Like, it's all good.
Great.
Yeah, nice one, mate. I am Nick. Thanks.
Sorry, I was just thinking.
You are
cool.
Nick. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's true.
Yep. I am me.
Any more?
There is only one of. No, that's it. What do you want to know?
What's your last name?
Gray. AY, not EY.
Spelled strangely though.
Like the name, not the colour.
The amount of times he's had to correct me as well. I know it, but I still put the colour every time. Yeah.
Doesn't love me, does he?
No, I feel like, in all seriousness, my name's Andy. I'm friends with these two guys. If you're watching, you probably know me. That's it. Yeah, there you go. What about you, Nick?
I'm Nick.
And he's friends with these two guys.
Wicked, yeah.
Yeah, Josh and Andrew are friends of mine. Thank you.
Brilliant. Right, so what's everyone drinking then?
So I'm really glad I introduced this new element to the show.
Yeah, we really missed you last week, mate.
It's because I don't know about you, but I'm uncomfortable talking about myself. It's impossible to say anything about yourself that isn't either derogatory, or if it's positive, you just feel like you're being arrogant and saying how great you are, don't you?
Yeah, there's no middle ground. Middle ground.
No. Anyway, we're three mates that like music from Northampton, basically.
Yeah, pretty simple. Yeah.
Correct. Keeping the dream alive.
Keeping the dream alive. And it's been an interesting week or two, I think, because it looks like we might be able to. Well, we are definitely allowed to go back to pubs. Starting on Saturday, isn't it? The 4th.
It is. Yeah. The Lamper opening on Saturday. It's going to be a different experience by all accounts, for obvious reasons. But yeah, good news for those businesses and those sort of favourite spots we like to go. Myself, I have said though I'm maybe going to wait a week or two before I kind of venture again, because I think maybe a lot of people are going to flock there, and I'm just personally going to give it maybe a week or two and then maybe see what the situation is.
Yeah, just let them settle in gently. Don't overwhelm them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to buck the trend here, and I have actually got a table booked to go to the Gary on Saturday night.
Doesn't surprise me.
Figures. You raging alky.
I like the Garibaldi Hotel and the staff there. But I mean, they've got tables. You have to book a table. You have to give them your name and address or whatever when you go in there, and it's table service only. You can't go to the bar. So it's going to be unusual, but whatever it takes to both get us out again and get them making some money. I think hopefully it runs smoothly and it doesn't increase infection rates. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that is, I suppose, today's news with like Leicester being kind of put into a sort of local lockdown. That is, I guess, kind of the one worry. And like, I saw like a statistic of like the next bunch of areas around that are kind of in that range, and a lot of them seem to be more kind of in the northern region of the country, but there are a few little hotspots, and someone was saying that Milton Keynes could potentially be locked down again. But then when I looked, Northampton had a higher rate than Milton Keynes did, so I was like, well, that means Northampton might. But anyway, that's, again, I think it's more Twitter talk, people saying, well, I heard a friend of mine works here and they heard, and they know someone's dog's cousin who said that there's possibility. So until I get told, then whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
As we're talking about pubs, we should probably talk about what we're drinking. Andy, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking. I actually need to get some new beer in, but luckily I had one of these stashed away, which is my Love's 71 Brewing again, and their Luminous Lights New England IPA. Very, very nice. Highly recommend it.
Nice. Nick?
I'm drinking a well-known Australian craft lager again. It's cheap and cheerful. And it's also probably what I'll drink when I have the first pint in the pub as well.
Okay.
Pint of unspecified. Love it.
Pint of, you like in soap operas where they're not allowed to specify brands. Pint of lager, please.
Can I have a pint of Australian lager?
Yeah. Just a nice cold one, please, Peggy.
Peggy, nice.
Peggy, yeah.
What about you, Joshy?
I've got this.
Oh, that looks nice.
Ghost Dance. It's from Lidl or Aldi, one of those two. They've got like an impressive selection of these cans of various beers and ciders and lagers for a quid a go. So
nice.
And they're not bad. So that's
what is it? Pale ale?
It is. It's a pale ale. I haven't tried. Let me just.
Yeah, we need the instant review.
Love the finger, by the way.
That tastes like beer.
No way.
Tastes like beer. Your brother says it's a Lidl special, so there you go.
Okay.
And again, I got this from Lidl, so Lidl beer is definitely one to check out. My experience has been primo of Lidl beer.
We're definitely doing our bit for Lidl and or Aldi. Their beer selection.
Well,
I think a week has gone by without us mentioning them.
Beer Garage didn't want to get on this, so we're going to have to go to the next one. Lidl. If anyone from Lidl's watching,
Mr. Lidl, Mrs. Lidl,
Mr. Lidl,
Mr. or Mrs. Lidl, if you are tuning in.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Long time viewer, first time caller. Great. Thanks, Mr. Lidl. For anyone who is watching, you know what to do. Hit us up in the chat. What are you drinking? Tim Astrop, I see you. Daniel Batterson, who I think is actually Emma in disguise. I see you there. Comment. What are you drinking? People watching, let us know what you're drinking. Come on this fine Wednesday evening. Hit us up. So, Josh, what have you been doing in your... first of all, did you have a nice time in the field last week, in all seriousness? Was it good?
I did. I had a lovely time. Spent the day by the river and laid on the grass and swam in the river. It was it was like something out of a movie.
Drank a few Chardonnays as well, I presume.
No, I was driving.
Hang on, you were sober?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I think it was maybe the Sam. We were convinced. We were like, yeah, Josh maybe had a couple jars.
I probably looked a little dishevelled because I've been in and out of the river all day.
Right.
I mean, not that I look particularly pruned at the moment, but yeah.
I think you look lovely.
And maybe a little bit red from the sun, but yeah, it was a good day. It was a shame I couldn't get it to work. I thought that would have been fun, but never mind.
You live and you learn. So wait, you were swimming in the river in Olney?
Yeah.
Was it nice or like?
Well, it's a bit muddy, but it's fine.
Deep?
No, not. It was in parts. Some of it you can walk along, and some of it you can't see the bottom or touch the bottom. But it's the water's slow moving, and it was nice and cold. It was really hot last Wednesday, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was crazy. That sounds well. I have a fear of like river swimming because I live in Kingsthorpe and I have since I was a kid. We used to go to the mill all the time. Me and the kids in the area, and it'd be like you go in the mill and like not swim, but you kind of like wade through it. And one time I stepped on a broken glass bottle in the mill, like it shredded all my feet, and I had to ride my bike home with like blood like pouring out of my trainers and stuff. So ever since that day, I've never been like, yeah, I'm gonna go jump in a river. Just have this fear of standing on a broken glass bottle again.
Well, I think sorry, Nick. I think Olney's obviously a very nice part of the world. A lot of expensive houses and people with lots of money. In fact, I heard some rumblings about some sort of weird cultish Christian mafia in Olney. Yeah, you heard me right. And they like get together and stop people building stuff and stop people changing stuff. And like it's like they're trying to keep keep it for the rich or something. It's really weird. So my point being, in the river there isn't like shopping trolleys and broken glass bottles. There's like empty bottles of caviar or whatever.
So what you're saying is, in the film The Dark Knight Rises, Olney is the place where they like eat the rich. They're going to like show up there and drag them out of their houses and stuff when the revolution starts.
Right, that would be a good place to go. Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone knows any more about that conspiracy theory that I may or may not have made up, please let me know.
So what is it again? Sorry, Christian Illuminati.
It's basically, it might not be. The Christian element may or may not be significant, but I have a feeling it may be a theme.
Well, you can never trust them, can you, Christians?
Hey, that's
Nick's.
I think we're I think it might get a bit too hot in here.
I was trying to be diplomatic, and then you've just.
I know. I have no filter.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
anyway, enough of this conspiracy theory talk.
Yeah, what you been doing, Nick?
Oh, I was just going to say I'd be worried about swimming in rivers and lakes just because of river-dwelling animals getting in the crevices.
Yeah, like a leech. You ever seen Stand By Me come out and there's a leech in your pants?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want that.
I remember for years I didn't understand that scene, and I was just like, "What happened to him?" And then when I was older, I was like, "Oh, like he had a leech on his willy." Oh god.
Well, I didn't have a leech on my willy, so it's successful.
Perfect.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
What's been going on with you, Klaus? Me and Nick saw each other in real life on Friday. It was nice.
Good.
Yeah, we sat on the opposite ends of a bench, drinking cans of beer, looking like homeless hobos,
Speak for yourself.
Stereotypical, we see. But yeah, no, me personally, Nick looked great, but I looked dishevelled, definitely dishevelled,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice, wasn't it, mate?
It was wonderful. Yeah. Just hanging out in the park, drinking beer.
Yeah.
And not being arrested for it.
Yeah, that's the new norm. Actually, it was quite funny as well when we were sat there and like I was talking to Nick, and then he got distracted and he was like staring across the park, and like a eagle like locked onto something, and I was like, "You're right," and he's like, "Yeah." That's my son riding his bike over there. And there was this tiny little dot in the distance, and his fatherly instincts took over, and he could just recognize this little shape in the distance as his son, who apparently is Evel Knievel now, he's decided.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I recognised him straight away because he was doing things that he's not allowed to do. Riding his bike with no hands down a hill like this.
It was so good. He went. I think that's Seb over there. And as we looked, he was going down that massive mound hill in Abington Park, like on his bike.
Bearing in mind he's 7 years old on a bike with no brakes, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was pretty funny. He came over and showed off for us, didn't he?
He did, yeah, and then he nearly fell off.
Yeah.
He came over and was like popping like the front tire up, and then he was like riding with no hands. And then he was like, "Anyway, see you later." And as he rode away, he was like,
We've all been there.
"Yeah."
For showing off.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
Well, work, which I'm not complaining, is very busy. It's really good, but I had probably the maddest week I've ever had last week, and I was like sat with my hands on my head at one point because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then managed to catch up, got it together. China had a bank holiday, which really helped. So thank you for that bank holiday, China, because I wasn't getting emails one day. And I caught up on everything. But yeah, I met Nick in the park, and we saw a couple other lads as well. Socially distant, appropriate, obviously. And that was about it, really. Been for a few walks. I went for a run before the show tonight because I haven't done any exercise for like 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm done with exercise. Don't need to do it. And then today, Josh was doing his exercise, and I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, I better go for a run, I suppose. So thank you for inspiring me, Josh. No, you don't need to apologise. You inspired me. I was trying to guilt you out of doing your exercise, but it didn't work. So then I was like, well, I better go and do something, I guess.
I'm just really enjoying that Josh knows not to tag me in any of those posts.
Well, I'm happy. I'll be honest, mate. I'm happy you haven't done, because what are you doing at the minute? 25 press ups a day for 25 days. Is that it?
Yes. Then there's about 15 days left, so there's plenty of time for you to.
Yeah, because I haven't appeared yet, which I'm very happy about. But now I can see the evil cog turning in his head.
Well, you know what? I've been tagged in a few of these things, and I've never done any of them. Apart from this one, because it's something that means something to me. So I thought I'd do it, and it's well within my capabilities.
I can't do 4.
No, but I mean, it's like you can do 25 press ups on your knees, So and do it in one go. So it's very achievable for lots of people. But nobody that I've tagged has done it. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Look,
worry,
I'm not saying tag me. But if you do tag me, I will do it. But please don't tag me. Basically, is what I'm saying. My pride will take over.
Tag me, and I'll find a camera angle that looks like I'm doing it, but I'm not.
He's gonna.
No one's watching, right? So
no, he's gonna lie down and move the camera closer to himself like this, so it looks like he's pressing up, but really it's the camera. Got another one down.
Oh God. I'm just going to do an extra 25. Fuck it.
I'm doing a selfie version, Josh. Just so you know, mate.
Okay, I'd accept. I mean, what you want, obviously, but I'd accept you not doing them if you came up with creative camera angles to make it look like you were doing it, like different ones each time.
Yeah.
Like you accidentally got the camera angle wrong and filmed your feet, and there's just your ankles moving a little bit.
Or like the next one will just be a close up of a hand going like that.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. Okay. We've got a couple drinks in the chat. Tim is drinking. I'm not sure the way you say this, Tim. Just a punk IPA. That's still a nice drink. There's no gusto. It's a lovely drink. Dan and Emma, unless Dan or Emma is having 2 drinks, McEwen's standard and water. So let's see if we can guess which one's which.
Could be Dan just making the McEwen's last longer.
Could be watering it down every time.
Very frugal man.
And also here's one for you, Josh, about Olney from our friend Clem. Olney has a pancake race on Pancake Day. There you go.
Ooh, I like pancakes.
What's a
Yeah, I do as well.
what does a pancake race entail? Do you dress as a pancake and run around the streets?
No, you
It's,
run and flip, don't
running.
you?
It's the classic run and toss.
It's like the egg and spoon race, but it's a pancake race
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Which is it's not to be confused with the classic toss and run.
No.
Toss and run
No.
is something else, I think.
Not in Oni. They'll.
You end up on some kind of list if you do a toss and run.
Different kettle of fish altogether.
Different thing altogether.
The NN Social do not endorse the toss and run.
Unless it's on Pancake Day and it's with a frying pan and a pancake.
And another consensual adult.
Yeah.
Wholesome fun, guys.
Okay.
Wholesome fun.
Whole meal.
Okay. That's. I'm gonna get us back on the track now. It's time to introduce this week's guest. Those of you that I can see in the chat that are local people, you will know of this person. Yeah, let's just crack on with it, ladies and gentlemen. Celeste Charles.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Hi.
Let's
Hey,
get the
Celeste,
claps
how
in
are
the
you?
chat.
Clap emojis
Alright.
in that chat.
Feeling good?
Good. Well, we obviously we meet up with we get together before we go live, and we had half an hour of technical problems. So much so that we thought maybe it's not going to work, and we're going to have to do some sort of hybrid not live show. But thankfully Celeste managed to find the problem and sort it out. So I'm so glad you did, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to hear you live. So thanks for sorting that out. I know it's a real pain in the arse when all of this technology is not working and we can't work out why, and you're logging in this and logging out that.
First world problems. We figured it
No.
out.
Thank you.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
it's
no.
been days of
Josh, start
Yeah,
that
you
again.
just froze. Yeah.
Start that again.
Am I frozen?
No,
No,
you're right.
hold on.
There was that one moment.
I think his audio's behind.
Okay.
Clap.
Yeah.
You can still hear me,
Josh, clap. Yeah, go like that. Yeah, good. Okay. Start your question again.
Okay, sorry.
Action.
It's been 100 odd days of staying at home for a lot of people. What have you been doing? How has your life changed?
Funny enough, I found a list on my phone a few days ago of things that I wrote down that I was going to do during lockdown and get better at. I did none of them. There were things that were kind of ridiculous, like learn to dance really well, and it had like connotations, and just like smash the dance floor, and just get really good at guitar, which I haven't done. And I think the only thing I did was like start being more vegan. But that was probably the major change during lockdown. But other than that, it's been a lot of same old every day. Attempting homeschooling, which has been interesting with my daughter.
Yeah.
She
How
doesn't.
have you found? Have you been disciplined with it? Have you tried to be a cool teacher? Have you tried to be like a strict teacher, or
Well,
just?
You know what? I work in a school, so you would think that it would just be really easy, and I would just basically continue what I would do at work with her. But she doesn't think that I'm a suitable teacher for her. She wants her school teacher, and she just, if it's easy, she's fine. As soon as it's hard, it's just like she just turns into a robot, and it's just nothing. Do you want to finish this work? Straight face, no emotion. Doesn't want to hear me, doesn't want to look at me, and just doesn't want to, have anything to do. So we've kind of just been doing fun things, a lot of music fun stuff, and cooking and things. But yeah, she doesn't like schoolwork, as most children don't.
Yeah. Who does? It's one of those, one of those classics.
I work in a school, and the kids were doing a poster, and they asked me to spell exercise for them, and I spelt it wrong, and they made the poster with exercise spelled wrong.
Do you know what? Thank you for being so honest.
And,
That's a real honest one to
at
come
that
out.
moment, and the other teacher came past and she went, "You spelt it wrong," and they went, and I just went. And I was just testing you. You shouldn't, you should go with what you think. Don't look at me.
This was a lesson, children. I hope you've learned your lesson from it.
Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, homeschooling has been about the same level of success as me when I'm working in normal days. So yeah,
it's really it's something I've been thinking about a lot because I've been furloughed and I don't have kids, so I've had very little responsibility to be honest. So and there's lots of people that are achieving loads of stuff, and lots of people that are taking advantage of the situation, and maybe they've started a new business that we need at the moment and it's flourishing or whatever. And some people that have not left the house in 3 months. But you do feel guilty that you're not. I mean, Andy and Nick are obviously working at the moment, but you can't do everything. Yeah, you could get better at dancing, get better at guitar, and it's like that. That requires daily practice, at least an hour or whatever. And you've got a house with people in it. It's not like you're just on your own, relaxing and dividing your day up into neat segments. That's not how it works, is it?
No.
I think we've kind of said a few times on the show that at the start of it all, it was like, look at all this free time you're going to have, and look at, you'll have all this self-reflection time. And I think we were sort of saying that even if you haven't achieved what you maybe set out to do, or so, like me personally, I was like, I'm going to write some songs, I'm going to practice guitar, and I didn't do any of that. I wrote like half a song or something, that I'd written a year ago. But then I kept seeing people being like, the fact that you're dealing with this situation and getting up every day and existing, that's enough, or that's, that's a milestone in itself, as opposed to not becoming a virtuoso at something, so yeah. And the fact that you've also had to homeschool is another challenge that, like Josh, haven't had to deal with at all, and had to have that responsibility.
Yeah, it's been nice. It was hard at first, but just being used to, because she's been in nursery since she was about 9 months old. So I've always been like sort of either working or at uni or something with her. So this is the longest time. It sounds weird. It's the longest time I've ever spent with my own child in one long period of time. And it's not been as bad as I thought it was going to be. The first few weeks, it was a bit like, oh God, I can't. Help me, somebody. But yeah, she's all right. She's a good little companion. And I was saying, we're moving house tomorrow, so I'm sitting in a field of boxes and bags and junk that is not in boxes and bags. So we're not very, very busy. But it's weird. It's this whole lockdown thing, but it is good in ways,
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's had a different experience of it. Obviously, as people who watch regularly know, I haven't missed a day of work, apart from I had some holiday last week to sample what some other people have been like. And even with those 3 days off, I was like, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be completely lost. So anyone that's had no schedule to their day all of a sudden, or had to pick up things that they wouldn't normally have to do, it's just like complete sea change. And I'll be like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do. So I don't envy them, and I feel empathy for all those people and yourself that have had to kind of, change everything and deal with the new normal.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I won't be back to work till September now. So the schools open up.
Yeah, of course.
Which just kind of drive me mad. I just kind of, at first I was like, nice break, but I do miss it. Miss the crazy school.
Yeah,
bonkers children.
I said the same thing with mine, which was I was furloughed for about 6 weeks, got offered to come out of furlough, from work, and I was just happy to. I sort of jumped at the chance. Was like, because I just need a bit of routine back. Because as much as I was like, oh, this is cool, it was just a bit like, and it was funny. Me and a lad from work were talking, he wasn't furloughed. He'd been working the whole time. There's a few people, and he was like, I was thinking, do you think this is how lottery winners live? Like, you know, with just like all this free time. And I was like, I don't think so, because A, they've won the lottery, and B, they can go on holiday to fill their time. And he was like, yeah, good point.
I wonder if going on holiday gets boring.
Yeah, I think part of the excitement and the pleasure is it's a break from something else.
Yeah.
So if your life is one long break, then maybe, I mean, that sounds nice now, but maybe that becomes normal, and most stuff that's normal eventually becomes boring, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that sounds really pessimistic.
Way to bring down the lottery dream, Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have you won the lottery and like frittered all the money away, and it wasn't really as good as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I would do that whole, you know what that guy did who won it, who like got out of prison, and then he like bought a house and just made a destruction derby in his he bought this big mansion, and then he like was bankrupt in like 3 years or something. Just he kept buying cars and smashing them up. That would be probably something stupid I would do, you know. Like,
yeah,
well,
like
please
a chav Richie Rich.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. If anyone in the chat can remember his name, please tell me. We've actually got a comment for you already, Celeste, which is Max Riley says, "Well done on trying to be vegan." And again, I have to take my hat off to you for that, because a bunch of my friends are vegetarian, vegan. I have tried myself and failed so many times miserably, which the last time I tried, I accidentally ate a chicken samosa and cried. So, yeah.
That is such a diggy comment, because I had a
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say.
You know why? Because I had a conversation. Basically, I've gone vegan. I went vegan, and I got drunk, and
had a slip up.
I had an accident, and I justified the accident as this melted bowl of cheese was going to be at this party regardless of if I was here or not, and I did not buy it, and I had cheese, and he now is using that as a full-on attacking of me, which is why he said that. He knows. He's like, oh, you're proclaiming to be vegan, but yeah, I had an accident, but it's only been about two months ish. And I'm in a house of heavy bacon eaters. There is not a day that goes by with there is no bacon, and I haven't had any of that. So, you know,
nice.
Well done to you. Well done to you.
But yeah, that's just him throwing shade at me.
He says it's all love. He means it. I think he means that. He's put all love in the kiss. Yeah, because you call him out.
Yeah.
Max is obviously in the band Baby Lung, which you've worked with before, Celeste. What's the relationship there? Are you? I know you're not. Are you permanently in the band, or is it a special single release, or what was it?
No, I mean they keep asking me to join, and actually they're actually trying to move Max out and have me as the front man.
Obviously.
Good choice.
I say, you know, it's just I don't want that responsibility. No, that's just that was just like a one, because they had their EP launch, which is wicked if anyone hasn't heard it, and they had a show at the Roadmender, which so they had some like extra I can see his comments coming in. Vocals. But we are going to I think we're gonna, once I get some music out, we're gonna we've been writing together, so I've got a song that we just did a few days ago, so we're doing some writing together, and then I think we're talking about maybe doing a collab with Baby Lung and doing a single together. So we sort of quite musically on the same page, so we like doing a lot of music together. But yeah, maybe if they ask me nicely enough, then I might sing to them again. But you know,
but you are now getting busy with your own stuff, aren't you, Celeste?
Yeah, trying. Slowly but surely, it's getting there. Can we
hear some music?
Yeah, so I've got I actually did a talking of Baby Lung. I thought I'd do because a lot of my I've got a few things recorded, but I actually don't know the chords and stuff to it because I'm not usually the one on the instruments. So I thought I'd do a Baby Lung cover. As I was saying.
You're too good to those guys. You're too good.
I know. You know what? I secretly am their biggest fans. I think they are an amazing bunch of guys. They're all so lovely and they make really great music. So thought I'd rather than cover some other artists in the charts, would stick to the Northampton local and share one of their songs. It's a bit of a I'll do one of their songs. Fall In is the one I picked.
Cool. Well, yeah, the stage is yours.
So, oh gosh, I got to try. I'll see. Since you guys have gone, I drank half a bottle of wine.
Well, good luck. Yeah. See you on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll give it a go. God, I'm hot now.
Does the keyboard have like a demo button or anything? Because I just go back to demo.
Yeah,
I've actually lost
freestyle over
that. So before we do anything, if that's missing, then
well,
oh my God. Where's the piece of paper?
we'll fill in for time. While you... Oh, there you go. Good.
We got it. Guys.
I had fingers earlier, and I was eating those, and I was fanning myself for this. That's the story of that.
Okay, ready?
I think that's about how we had it. Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Stage is yours.
Looking in your eyes shows me no surprise. You and me at night, so slow. Take me by the hand, show me why you got plans, 'cause I don't understand your show. Falling in my eyes, I'm falling for you. Falling in my eyes, I'm falling for you. Living in my fear, should I be here? Can you make it clear for me? Am I out of depth? Should I watch myself? Will you be the death of me? Falling in my eyes, I'm falling for you. Falling in my eyes, I'm falling for you. For you. Falling in my eyes, I'm falling for you. That's pretty short then.
Claps
Clap
in
emojis in the
the
chat.
That was amazing. So good.
Thanks. I'm really warm now. I'm like, oh, yeah.
That was really good. Thank you.
So good.
Thanks. So yeah, Baby Lung, call him. Check them out. Spotify and everything else. They got a great EP out.
Yeah, Oh, sorry, Josh. No, I was just gonna say I actually saw you with them at the Roadmender show, which who else played that gig? I'm trying to remember whose that one was. There was a bunch. of Roadmender shows that were all together that I went to in like a space of a few weeks.
Yeah, that
But I
was
remember
Starker.
Yeah, that's
And
right. That's
Elijah
right.
Miller as well, who's really good as well.
Yeah, it's really good. But it was really cool because I had a spate of seeing Baby Lung, like, I don't know, it's like within the space of a month, I saw him like 4, maybe 5 times. So it was really cool to have a bunch of them. Then I didn't see him. And then the next time I saw him, you were in it as well. And it was like this full kind of sound sort of hit in the Roadmender. And it was good. Yeah, really, really good. And they're a very, very, very good band. Very good.
Yeah.
I concur.
Nick mentioned and you confirmed, Celeste, that you're working on solo stuff. What is that? How is that working out? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get an album or what's the situation?
So at the minute, I'm just trying to work on getting an EP together, just so that when I can just have a collection of songs, have a set sound. Because I think for a long while, I mean, I'm quite a procrastinator, so I've been saying for ever, I'm going to do music, and I've been writing songs for as long as I can remember, but I just am quite lazy, and I was with getting stuff done. So lazy that my name has now been used by somebody else, and I have to find a different name. I'm constantly complaining about it. Celeste is gone. Another wonderful lady has it, and I have to have a new name. And my mum says, well, that's your own fault. You took too long faffing around. So yeah, I've been working with Jay from Ginger Snap. Well, Ginger Snaps, Jay, same person. And sitting on this, gonna make noise. Just with trying to just sort of take stuff I've written and put a sound to it and just get stuff recorded. So yeah, I'm just in the process of just getting songs together. So I've been working with Jay, working with Max from Baby Lung. I'm going to do some work with Nick at some point very soon, and then hopefully get an EP together, get a single out, and then by that point, hopefully maybe we can do some live shows because I love like live music so much. So that's the end goal. So yeah, just
what kind of inspirations are you taking from the EP? Is it like, because obviously I know you kind of sit across a few genres that you like to perform in and maybe as a guest vocalist, are you going to take that through to the EP, or is there a certain sound you want it to be, or are you just kind of open to whatever develops?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really open. I think because of like how I grew up with such a mix. I'm like mixed race. So I grew up with, I say a mix. My mum is like, she just listens to, if I was a boy, I would have been called Marley after Bob Marley. So she's just like, I grew up in a household full of a lot of reggae and bashment and all of that. And also in church, there was a lot of gospel influence. And then I had all of that going on. I went to school and I was just like, just wanted to, I wasn't allowed when I was growing up to listen to secular music. So no gospel, anything that wasn't gospel wasn't allowed. So I'd grab my friend's iPod at school and I'd be listening to like Paramore and like Panic at the Disco and just be like, yes, it's amazing. So there's a real like mix of stuff that I like listen to and enjoy, which I'm glad of, you know, that I can. So I'd say the sound is quite chilled, like chilled out. I don't even know how I would sort of describe it, like sort of pop, R&B-ish, not really R&B, I don't really know. It's really, a lot of the stuff I write just on the piano, so I would always complain and be like, oh, I feel like everything turns into a ballad, which I'll be like, oh, I want to be in a band and I'll be like Paramore jumping up and down, but everything I write would end up being a ballad. But I've kind of fallen into that now and realised that it doesn't have to be like, not that there's anything wrong with Adele, but it doesn't have to be like an Adele sound. It can be, that's why working with Jay has been brilliant because I can have something that's slow but not flat. So just sort of, yeah, very emotive with my writing and something that's, I don't know, there's not really, I don't really know how to put it into words. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, excited to hear. Yeah, that sounds cool. Well, I suppose it'll be your sound really is kind of the roundabout way of doing it. It'll be kind of your vibe and your sound. Yeah, wicked.
I think that's
excited to get it all out.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I think that's the problem that a lot of bands as well as solo acts have as well, is if you're writing music to express yourself or to get something, to say something, it's probably coming from a place of like personal emotion, and you don't have emotions based in genres. You just like
right.
write. You write whatever you write, and obviously you've got your tastes and what you prefer. But quite often it doesn't fit in. But then that becomes a cliche that you can't pigeonhole our genre. That's a cliche in itself. So you can't really escape from perhaps feeling like you've got to fit into this box. That's, you don't want to do that, but then you don't want to be like, oh no, I'm not any genre, I'm free or whatever. It's a difficult thing, but
the fear is saying, I'm this, but then you make something that's not this. And the 1975 at the minute have been doing this. They've sort of, the last 5 singles they've released have just been different genres every single time. And that's the great thing about music, is that you shouldn't really have to fit in any sort of box and stuff. So I'm just sort of writing, and it's just been fun sort of building a sound around that, and just see what comes out at the end of it.
I think the fact you're probably as well working with different people is always the best thing, because me personally, I've always kind of been, any project I've done has either been rock or kind of like alt indie, you know, for want of a better term, but I've always kind of worked with the same people because my sound or anything I've written has been there. But to be honest, I've never really stepped outside of my comfort zone, whereas you're working with Jay, you're working with Nick, you're working with Max, so you're going to get a real nice eclectic sound. And sometimes those records are always the best, where it is a solo singer, but they've worked with 4 different producers on the album, you know, or the EP or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm very excited to hear what kind of comes out from it, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I feel like it's been such a long time where I've been writing and writing. So to have actually anything out will be just be really nice to have. And yeah, I just can't wait to be able to perform stuff. Every time I write anything, I just think how it would sound live, and to be with a band performing, just be great. Which I think every single musician and anyone who loves music is missing a lot right now. It's just live music.
Yeah, 100%.
So much.
I don't know about everyone here, but I watched a load of, the Glastonbury highlights this weekend, so a lot of people have on that. But then I ended up just watching loads of live videos, and then really sad, I watched a gig that me and Nick did, a Future Love gig, a video from it the other day, and I was just like, I really want to play a gig, you know, so yeah. Don't worry, Nick, I've watched it on mute.
There's going to be everyone's going to be desperate to play everywhere, anywhere. Every jam night's going to be packed. Good when it happens.
And we'll have a load of new musicians who've decided to learn their instruments during lockdown. The people who were like, I'm going to learn the spoons, they're going to be out there as well, you know,
yeah,
hey.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally myself, I'm crazy to play live again. It's, you know, we quite often, Century City especially, would quite often go 3 or 4 months without playing a show, because we're just incredibly disorganized and never rehearse, and we've got a bunch of different songs that we never learn, all 4 of us, and it takes ages to get around. But now I'm just absolutely gagging just to play.
Yeah, I'm a massive Century City fan. I that's, you guys are my favorite. In fact, I think it was last year, you know, when Spotify do the year wrapped up, and they do most I think it's Cherry. Is it Cherry something? Just Cherry?
Cherry Red.
Cherry Red. That was up there in one of my most listened to songs of the year. So I think I remember I went to the show, and it was there wasn't that many people there, and I was just jumping around this is the best thing ever. So
we stop people coming to gigs so that people have room to dance. They're not poorly attended. It's our our insistence to the promoter that
people were still booing in when we came on.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Century City play again, I must say. As much as I'm looking forward to playing a gig myself at some point with whatever project it is, the more thing I'm looking forward to is seeing Century City, is seeing Baby Lung is seeing all these wicked Northampton bands, and then like
Oh,
anything that's kind of coming through. So I'll definitely make it a point to go to more shows myself.
Northampton is very spoiled for music. We are such a spoiled town. Like the music that's come from this place is unbelievable.
Yeah, and continues to, and I think we've found that doing the show as well. We've asked people we know, but then we're sort of finding more stuff and kind of reaching out to people, and Leo, for example. I've seen Leo at a few shows. Blew my mind last week. And the new album or EPs put out during this time as well. It was amazing, So and that's kind of inspired me to A, write some new Future Love songs. B is also then to go to gigs when we can,
Yeah.
And everything and anything under the sun. I think I'm probably going to attend. A bit like Josh. Yeah. Josh is a real hound for going to anything really in terms of gigs. The amount of times like Josh has gone to just something that you wouldn't think, I'm not sure I'd go to that, but you're one for it, Josh, aren't you? In terms of like genres.
Yeah, I think well, I do like lots of different genres really. But there's always, the amount of gigs you go to, and there's normally at least 2 or 3 acts on. It's highly unlikely in my experience that you're not going to enjoy any of it if you watch all 3 acts, and the good thing about doing it in Northampton is you'll know people there, and you'll have someone to talk to, and it's always, even if I go to some gigs and I often leave early for whatever reason, but that's not to say like even if you're not enjoying it, you're going to speak to people it's just that's the community, I suppose, isn't it? That's just the music community in Northampton. But yeah, and a lot of them are like free or £3 or whatever, and it's like, man, you're paying £3 to see 3 bands, and there's 4 people in each band. You're paying £3 to see 12 people play music. Like £3, that's like fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and have a nice beer while you do it. It's a pleasure. It's not a chore.
Yeah.
Carol Vorderman, ladies and gentlemen.
There was a just before lockdown, there was a jam night that was just solely the original music, or just like improv. Shoes, nothing but shoes, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, when I went, I could not believe the level of just for free, and there was like a donation bucket going around. But you can go in there for free, and it was just like amazing talent, and none of it was no covers, just either on the spot made up or people's original music. And you had such a mix. You had guys like rapping, you had like Leo there, and I can't remember his name, Harlequin, something like that. He has like a mask. You might have seen him a rap.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And just like that mix of genres, just with a live band. It's like you would pay I would pay so much money to see that. Yeah. So it's like amazing. The jam nights are really good here. Oh, I miss them so much.
He'll be back. We well, before we get to our questions that we did pre-warn you about, so I've only just noticed Josh and Nick. It looks like you're sitting in the same room. Your backgrounds.
We
Yeah.
are.
How weird is that? I noticed it.
Wrong way again.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I only just noticed that. Sorry. So we have regular questions that we ask our guests. Now, first one for you is: who is the most famous person you have seen in Northampton or Northamptonshire?
Well, I'll struggle with this one. I couldn't think of anyone, but I did. It's more of an embarrassing story than that famous. I don't know if you guys know of a group called Western.
Western. I do. The name rings a bell. I don't know why.
They did a song. They're like an R&B kind of group. A couple of guys, and they did a song that was like something I was into. I don't know if you know. It's quite old now, but they
old to you, probably new to me, Celeste. So.
They're quite big in like the R&B sort of scene. If you went to Balloon Bar, they'd be playing. But I'm sure you all went regularly, to Balloon before lockdown. But I was in two of the guys who are in that band, Angel and Akel, who aren't their real name. They're like my second cousins. They're like Charles's, And my dad was like, "You're related to them. You should do some music with them." I'm like, "They don't know who I am, whatever." And I was in McDonald's and I saw one of them. I think it was Angel, and I was quite drunk. It was one of those late night McDonald's on the Drapery visits at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And he's surrounded by all the girls, and he's got like a security guard. And I go, "Hey, I'm your cousin." And he looked and went, "Sure you are, mate."
Oh no!
God. Oh my God!
That's brutal.
That is
Oh.
And what's funny is he
got a
is,
lot of cousins.
Yeah, he is.
I was like, "Yeah, we actually are related." Like, and that was I think the most at the time that was the most famous person I knew, and that I've seen him in Northampton.
Well,
Did you follow that up though?
Yeah. Did you then see him at like a family wedding and go, "Yeah,
Did you
I'm
like-
here, see"?
Email him your family tree.
That side of the family is a little bit dysfunctional and talented, but dysfunctional. And it's funny when I go on Wikipedia, I see like his name, like his actual name, and like his family members. I'm like, yep, definitely, okay. Dad was right.
I'm
Yeah,
Googling
no.
Western.
One day he'll remember me, maybe.
Yeah, when he's opening for you on your album release show, when he's
Yeah.
like, "Please, we're second cousins. Can I have a gig?" And you're like, "Don't think so, mate."
No, you'll have just played a gig with your security guards, and he'll turn up into McDonald's going, "Hey, I'm your cousin." He'll be like, "Sure you are, mate."
Yeah, do that whole Pretty Woman thing where you just like, "I assume you work on commission." Big mistake, and he's like, "No, I don't." You're like, "See you later," and just walk out. Get him. Oh well, that's good. I'm googling Western.
It's like WSTRN.
Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to check out Western.
vowels.
Anyone in the chat, if they've heard Western before, let us know.
I actually
Definitely.
think he went to prison.
Okay, lovely. Well, that's a good one. I like that. Thank you for that story. That was a good story. It's slightly brutal, but yeah, good. Well, our next question for yourself is recommendations during lockdown. So, any TV you've been watching, anything you've been reading, films, any lessons, any school lessons that you've been teaching? You know, what's been sort of helping you get through lockdown, I suppose? Music, anything?
I certainly haven't been reading, which is a shame because I should have been, but I haven't been reading. But I have been listening a lot to, just recently, Jessie Reyes, something like that.
Okay.
And she is unreal, like so good. Her album is just like this great mix of like, makes you feel like you can take over the world, and then also cry over a guy in the next song. So I'm like rinsing that, and I've been binge watching Community on Netflix.
Very nice.
Has anyone seen that?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
the odd
seen it all,
episode.
yeah.
I think you guys
so
have watched it.
obsessed with it. And I do this thing where if I watch something, like that's all I do. That's all I watch. I watch it as much because then I want to be able to do quizzes. Oh God, I sound so sad. I want to be able to do quizzes on Sporkle on it and get them all right on the show because I'm really cool and I'm not sad and a homosexual. But
It's
yeah,
a great TV show, but it wobbles in parts. But some of it is just
it's
utter
brilliant.
gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So I've been
Such a great cast as well.
So I'm currently doing that, but I've been quite like not really ventured out that much. I've watched New Girl all over again. I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine all the way through, I think twice. I don't venture out and watch anything new. Oh, I started watching the Marvel movies.
And how are you finding that?
I'm currently just finished Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I have a rating, so if something is really good, it gets top notch seal of approval. So only a few of them have had top notch so far.
I would agree with that. Yeah, let me see if I can guess. Captain America: Winter Soldier, top notch.
Yes.
Captain America 2, that is, and then Civil War, top notch.
That didn't get a top. That didn't get a top notch just because I don't want to feel stressed and like I'm going to have an aneurysm at the end of a movie. And
Okay.
that's what made me feel. I was so stressed. And it also, because Captain America is like my favorite, and he disappointed me in that. So I was kind of like,
Oh, so you were Team Iron Man in that?
yeah, well, oh, don't, it's just, it hurts my heart. It makes me
Ooh. I love that. Good.
I feel like Iron Man didn't. I thought in Civil War my preview was that he was going to be a dick, and he is most of the time. And I thought he was going to be an asshole, and he was actually trying to keep shit together. And so I was like, "Oh, Iron Man, you're trying to be good," and you know, Captain America was just. He was doing the right thing, but it was just,
that horrible secret is revealed, and then you switch sides. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry for anyone who's not a Marvel fan. Just realised that.
Yeah.
A rabbit hole we can go deep into, but yeah.
Have you? And you've never seen? Have you ever seen them before, or is this literally your first time seeing any of them?
First time.
Oh, I'm so
The only
jealous.
thing I'd seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I'd seen those two, but that was it.
Oh, wicked. Well,
so
well, you got some good ones coming. Both the last Avengers films. Black Panther's amazing. I really like Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. So yeah, I'm very jealous.
That surprised me. I thought that was going to be rubbish. That got a top notch. So you know,
nice. Very nice.
I'm now a movie reviewer.
I love what. Hang on. So what are the top notch? What are the ratings?
Oh, it's just it's either okay or it's top notch. There is no.
It's a two-tier system.
Great film. So Doctor Strange didn't get top notch.
No, I don't.
It was just too much, you know, like too much going on. Just keep it simple. Like I said, I review films now. That's, you know, my new...
This one gets a okay.
Okay, and I rang my friend who I'd been watching them with, and I just give him like this long speech, and he was like, okay. Like I just feel like they didn't delve into this enough, and it was too much of this, and he was like, I don't care, like stop. So during lockdown I've not actually been that interested. I've been binging the same things, and also if you guys have heard of Raleigh Ritchie, he played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah, I have. Yeah, very good artist. Yeah.
He just released a new album a few days ago, and that's really, really good. So yeah, I've been doing that the last few days. But yeah, other than that, I feel quite bad. I've not really been doing much.
For me, you watching the Marvel films is enough.
Apart from homeschooling, writing music.
Yeah,
but those are like givens. I have to homeschool. Like people say I'm a bad.
And we have 5 minutes left of the day. I've been watching Marvel films.
It is part of your regular life, but your regular life is busy.
Yeah.
The house in my house. We've got my mum. My sister came home from Australia just literally 5 days before lockdown happened. So she came home, and then my youngest sister, she's off school. My daughter's home, so we've got a busy household of all women trying to cope. So I mean,
and you're moving as well. You're moving house as well. So there's another little curveball to throw in there.
Yeah, so it has been really like hectic and busy, but it's been good. It's been good.
Wicked.
Cool.
Josh,
would we? Yeah.
What you got? Yeah, only to your recommendations, mate.
My
especially as you weren't in last week.
Yes, true. What have I been watching? I've completely not thought about this at all. What have I been watching? Can you come back to me?
Nick?
Yes, I have been watching the new season of Dark, which
no spoilers, please.
It's on Netflix. It's a German TV show. If those that are watching haven't watched it before, it is in my top 5 TV shows of all time. I absolutely love it. It is fucking awesome. It is nuts. Huh? Sorry, Celeste?
Is it scary?
No, not really. Unless, well, it's I guess the same level of Stranger Things.
Oh, too scary.
Creepy, not scary.
Is it jumpy?
No, never jumpy.
Sounds good.
They never wear jumpers through the whole thing. No, it's really, really good. So it's on its third season now, and it's all about mysterious disappearances of people in a small German town.
Oh,
Very kind of Stranger Thingsy, very kind of Lost, maybe as well. Very German. But you do have the option of watching it with subtitles or dubbed, if you feel that way inclined. Subtitles is the best way to watch it, but it's incredible. It's mind-boggling. But they've got this great website, like, so you can go on there on the website itself. I can't remember the URL right now, but if you ever get confused, you can go to that website, and it gives you a family tree and a timeline, but also with spoiler links. So, like, you can go through each episode and go to where you've got to, click that button, and then anything that's happened after it won't be included in what you're looking at, what you can view.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really, really cool. But yeah, I recommend it to anyone and everyone. It is absolutely fantastic. And the only other thing I've been doing is listening. I've been rewatching the American Office.
so good.
It's so funny. Just as a companion to it, the Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, they have a podcast. So Angela and Pam from the show have a podcast, and they do episode by episode rundowns. So it's just really endearing, like two girls that were on the show talking about their experience of it, and a few little kind of great tidbits of information, and it's really fun.
Office Ladies, it's called.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Good
Cool.
podcast. Yeah, good podcast.
Yeah, so they're doing episode by episode. I don't know how far they're in, but they're at least 30, 40 episodes in. So,
do you watch the German thing? Do you watch it with the subtitles, or do you watch it dubbed?
both. So I've watched seasons dubbed and subtitled, because there is a lot going on. So it's like you have to pay attention. It's pretty nuts.
I started rewatching an anime in subtitles. That's one thing I did. I watched the whole anime in Japanese with the subtitles.
And now you're fluent in Japanese.
Now you can speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Which anime was it, just out of interest?
It's on Netflix. It's called Beastars. It's really good. There's some strange moments.
I mean, it's anime. There's definitely strange moments in it.
I didn't expect to happen. I was like, okay, this is kind of okay. It's kind of weird. Oh my god, what? And there's a strange moment, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is how it is, without giving too much away.
Yeah, just remember it's anime.
I've never been into anime, but I think I said it on here. I recommended it. Aside from Attack on Titan, which is maybe one of the best TV show stories I've ever seen in my life, and if anyone wants to check it out who's not into anime, start with Attack on Titan. It's genuinely one of the best stories I've ever seen in any medium, and a bit like Nick with Dark, it blew my mind. And I finished season 3 a few weeks ago, and I was just like, so yeah. I'm not into anime at all, but Attack on Titan, I make an exception for.
I'm very anime.
What you got, Josh?
I think I was just trying to think. I haven't really watched anything new, but I think I watched. I'm not sure if I'd watched it the last time I was here. The Guy Ritchie Gentleman movie.
Oh yeah.
I think you mentioned it. Yeah.
Oh okay. Oh fuck.
Maybe.
Last night I watched the Eurovision the story of Fire Saga.
No spoilers, please.
Well.
Yeah,
No spoilers.
I won't say anything, but other than I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I probably would have, because I like Will Ferrell. But but it was a good film. Yeah, no, I'd recommend watching it. Yeah,
Everyone that I know that has seen it has given a positive review, but I love films with Will Ferrell. But I watched the trailer. I was like,
no, the trailer is not
if this
good.
is the best gags in the film.
yeah.
What I'll say, I was going to say that was my sort of one thing to watch. What I would say is, I love Will Ferrell, but I love Eurovision. Like Nick knows this, Josh. I fucking love Eurovision. Me and Meg watch it every year together. I watch it with my sisters as well, and I'm into it. You know, like into it. Love the songs. Whoever they got writing the songs for this has done such an incredible job because they all fit in Eurovision. They would all fit. If someone sang that next year, it wouldn't be out of place. All of the songs they've got. So yeah, and it's like, you know, the news has been heavy and everything, and it was almost just like, it's not a perfect film, but it was perfect for the moment now of not getting Eurovision this year, and then just, you know, the news is a bit doom and gloom sometimes, and it was just perfect for the moment for me anyway. And everyone I know who's watched it has said the same thing, that the trailer's not good, but the content of the film itself is wicked. And yeah, recommend that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you love Eurovision, Jesus, and there's some Eurovision cameos of people who've been in it before. So good, so good.
Yeah, my girlfriend Lauren is waiting to watch it with her mum, so I'm not allowed to watch it until we can schedule it so that we can all watch it together. Damn it!
Did you have recommendations, Andy?
Well, the Eurovision film was going to be my big one. That was my real big one for this week. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I like Nick, The American Office, but that for me now is just on in the background. I'll just put that on when I'm in the middle of doing something, just because I know all the episodes so well, and it's nice and easy, and it will kind of just sort of sit there. I have been watching a series of videos on YouTube. A guy called Oliver Harper, I believe is his name, and he does retrospective reviews of movies. They're very good. He does very good breakdowns of films, explains about some of the making of them and the marketing and kind of like the soundtracks. So yeah, Oliver Harper or Harpenden. If you find him, you just type in retrospective review, and he's done like Blade Runner, Jaws, Aliens, you know, really like classic sort of films. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of his stuff. Very good. So that's it from me. Not a great deal.
Okay,
Fair enough,
cool.
yeah.
And as you're having a coughing fit, Celeste, do you want to play another song?
Yeah, sure. It's
Cool.
asthma. It's not
Oh, okay.
what you think it is. No, my sister, I don't know if anyone noticed, halfway through came and brought me another drink.
It was very well done. It was like a really smooth relay race transition.
It was like, thank you. I literally WhatsApp. I was like, to the group chat in the house, like, someone bring me a drink. Now I'm even more unequipped to play, and now I've got to remember this song. So this is one of my songs. That is not. I actually wrote this during lockdown. Yeah, like all of my songs, they're just me complaining about my ex. So
It's a mind that needs to be, yeah. It's a good thing to write songs out of that. It's therapeutic.
Amen.
There was a point in my life where everything was kind of okay, and I was really struggling to write. It's like bad things to happen, so I have things to fuel music. And I remember I really struggled, because for a long time I went to church and all my songs were like, you mentioned earlier, I was absolutely cracking up. You said something about Christianity or something, and it was just killing me. So I grew up in like a cultish environment, and it's just very funny. But in my head, I can't actually remember what the song's about, so I can't really give you any more of a rundown. So I'm just going to sing the song.
Sometimes it's best to leave it ambiguous.
Yes. Yeah. So I've got to remember how it goes now. But yeah, I'll give it a go. Hope you like it.
Wicked.
Cool. Stage is yours, mate.
Thank you. long and wasted, I'll keep waiting. It won't feel like a waste. You got something that's underrated, and I'm missing the taste. Like a trap of hellish torture, a gateway to adore ya. It's like I'm crashing on. Love by her better than me. I won't believe it. This is more than love. Love by her better than me. I won't believe it. This is more than us. I can live far and lonely. I can't cope without knowing. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? We can both claim betrayal. We didn't even try to fail. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? Lonely, I fell beneath you. My soul got lost on the way. Take your twisted rage up, baby. I deserve the pain. We won't deserve better. Not ever. Oh, no, love by her better than me. I won't believe it. This is more than us. I can live far and lonely. I can cope without knowing. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? We can both claim betrayal. We didn't even try to fail. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? 'Cause I love by her better than me. I won't believe it. This is more than us. Loved by her better than me. I won't believe it. This is more than us. I can live far and lonely. I can cope without knowing. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? We can both claim betrayal. We didn't even try to fail. But was it ever in your plans to be loved? Oh, I can live far and lonely. I can cope without knowing. Was it ever in your plans to be loved? We can both claim betrayal. We didn't even try to fail. Was it ever in your plans to be loved? Thank you.
That was top notch.
Ah,
So
It was.
so good.
That was
like
more
that.
than okay.
Yeah.
that was a little bit. I could tell I've been drinking throughout, and that was a little bit sloppy. So I apologize.
No, it was great, man. It was so
Well,
good.
if that's you pissed, like I dread to
Yeah.
think what it sounds like when I'm drunk. Fucking
Yeah.
terrible. Like sober.
It's either a bit sloppy or like sober, and like I get horrific nerves, and it just has not gone ever since like being. I was been singing since I was like 13 in church and stuff. Did drama, theatre, and like still, even the first song it was all like shaky. It's like at some point that'll go. Oh, my dad's watching. Hi, Dad.
Hey, hello.
No, it was wicked. Really good. Really good. Where can people hit you up, Celeste? Where's like the best place to find your music when it's out there, and hit you up if people want to sort of check you out?
Best place is Instagram, which is like Celly official.
Mhm.
Which I think that obviously, as I said before, we can't use Celeste anymore because that's been taken by another lovely lady. So sticking with Celly at the minute, but I think I'm going to change the spelling. I keep whinging about it and changing it and going on about it, but I think it is Celly. It might be spelled a little bit different. But Celly with a Y seems a little bit silly. Don't know. Instagram is the best place, and that's where I post any like updates and stuff. But there will be. I have got a song that's literally almost done. That I'm done working on other stuff. I just really want to get something out. So very soon, music, which I feel like I've been saying for a long time. But yeah, original music very soon, and really excited about it.
Me too.
Wicked. Yeah, really excited to hear it.
Good.
Cool. I think that's about us for this episode. Other than at the end of each episode, we will strike a beautiful pose for people to take screenshots of, and then hopefully post around and share their share them watching the show. So,
I have a quick question before we go, and just for you guys. What's been your best thing? I mean, you've been doing this for episode 13, so you've done a lot of them. What's been your best thing about doing these over the last few weeks?
Honestly, just being able to see my mates on air. You know, just keep like the reason we started it personally, from my point of view, the reason we started it was to try and keep the Northampton music scene going a little, so that if we could try and get our mates and songwriters and musicians and artists around town to come on, play a few songs, have a little chat. And then we did the thing with the businesses as well. So we got Paul Hanna and Steve Peel from Yellowbomb, and a load of other people, too many people to mention. But it was just to keep everyone in the public's eye. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole thought around it. But my personal take from it was just that I just got to hang out with my mates on the internet. And it's kept me going personally, like just being able to talk and see my friends. So.
For me, everything Nick echoes, but also I've got to have good conversations with people who I might never have actually spoken to, you know, just because of the friendship groups I have, and maybe not knowing those people, knowing them, say hello to them. So, and actually getting to hear their stories and stuff, you know, sort of ones that spring to mind of people I'd never really met before, like Jason, when we had Jason from Hatbox on, who did these like amazing drawings as well, like at the start of the show. And then actually like chatting to Leo properly last week as well, you know, was wonderful. So for me, it's been everything Nick says, but then also getting to actually talk to people that I might necessarily have ever had a conversation with, you know, outside of like sitting down in the pub and they're sitting at the same table as you, and you kind of spark a conversation that way. So that's been really good for me. But I don't know about you. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's basically the same that you guys have said. I mean, you know, on one hand, we're just like three mates talking on the internet, and asking people and hoping that they're gracious enough, like you, Celeste, to say, yeah, I'll come on your show and talk to you. Because it's potentially not an exciting prospect for somebody to come on. I mean, we hope it is, but most people have said yes, and yeah, we've spoken to people that we might not have known before, and found out information that we wouldn't otherwise hear, and hopefully now we're all in each other's networks and we're all in each other's friend groups. So as soon as we're out again, we're going to be, you know, seeing these musicians that we haven't seen before. People that are our friends that also don't know the guests will be coming along as well. So hopefully it's sort of continuing the experience of going to see a band you don't know, and meeting people you don't know, which all help the whole community. So I think however small it is, it's just had that same effect. So yeah, I think that's what's been exciting for me.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for asking. That's a nice question.
I think it's really good. I think it's great what you guys have been doing. I was watching a few of them back, and they're really wicked. And like I said, it's great exposure. It's keeping because Northampton is a great town, and there's so much stuff going on that people can be proud of the town they're in. And I think what you guys are doing is really brilliant, keeping that momentum going. And I feel very privileged to be on it. So thank you for having me.
No,
as well.
thanks
for coming on. Yeah,
we've loved having you on. And saying that, we haven't said it for a little while, but anyone who's watching or knows anyone who wants to be part of the show, hit us up. Like we've always said from the start, we're reaching out to people. But if people want to come on and reach out to us, then let us know. Just hit us up on the NN Social Instagram, and we'll sort a date out and get you on. You know, so we are open to anyone who wants to come on with some good chat.
Yeah.
Good chat.
Yeah. Cool. Andy, you normally do the Vogue situation?
Yeah, so we normally do a Vogue pose. So anyone watching, if you want to get ready to take a screenshot of us voguing, I'll be honest, I think Celeste is probably going to be the best voguer out of us because we haven't quite got it down yet. So we ask you to take a screenshot, share it on socials, tag us, the NN Social on Instagram, let us know how you're watching us and you've been checking out the show. So if you want to assume your Vogue positions, everyone.
You're gonna have a Vogue. What are you guys gonna do? Oh my god.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1, hold the Vogue. So everyone take your screenshots now. And in 3, 2, 1, unvogue. Great, yeah, simple. Thanks very much.
That was hard.
Thank you.
That wasn't my leg.
It was a prosthetic
Anyway.
leg.
Moving on.
Okay, I think that's
Envy. You guys all have like strong hair, and I'm just like, I have less hair than all of you.
No, this is just Pritt stick.
Yeah, I think you've got more hair than me on top, but yeah. Luckily I work for a hat company, so that's all good.
No, I just glued mine on. It's from the welcome mat.
Oh my god.
It's convincing, though, isn't it?
It is.
Bit patchy. Bit patchy.
Looks great, mate. Looks great. Looks real. Looks legit. And on
Fuck
that
off.
bombshell, fucking hell, it's Clarkson quote that, isn't it? I don't want to be ending the show by quoting Jeremy Clarkson.
No.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
Partridge,
Partridge
isn't it?
quote. Clarkson stole it.
And on that bombshell.
True.
Mm.
Yeah, it's Alan Partridge. Anyway, thanks to everybody for listening, for watching, checking us out. We're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Obviously, check out Celeste at Celly_official. Just one underscore, is it?
I think it's 2.
It looks like 2. Space looks like 2. Well pointed out, Josh.
I did a thing once. I put my wrong Instagram. It was like a trend thing to like get your Instagram friend. I put my wrong Instagram down. I'm really bad at it. It's 2.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for your time, Celeste. I appreciate
Thank
that
you
you're
for having
busy.
me.
Not at all. And you're moving tomorrow, so I'm
Good
sure
luck.
there's other things that you
Yeah.
could or should be doing. So thank you for giving us some time. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
You just have to keep waving now.
Bye. 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 Bye.